Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. Happy Sunday and happy What Is They Doing in Huntsville Day. Okay. Nothing but foolishness is going on around here, and I need everyone to know. Tisha thinks she the HBIC, and I don't think she realized that she looks foolish. Okay. But happy Sunday to everyone. We're gonna have a good old time, real fast and real quick. Okay. Because this episode wasn't a whole bunch, so we don't need to do a whole bunch and whatnot. But a good time will be had anyway. Okay, y'all know to do a thing or two for me. Want to make sure you always like the video and subscribe. Okay, it's always appreciated around here. Okay, you can comment in the comment section. Also, follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, I am here. Okay, where I'm at. Hi. Okay, how was everyone doing, child? I'm slouching in a chair because I was in the other room chillaxing and realized, girl, it's time to get on the live. So here I am. My hair is still wet. So again, it's a relaxing Sunday. Okay. And I almost did not want to review this episode because I'm going to cuss people out. And sometimes I don't want to keep fussing people out. Because why you watching if all you're going to do is fuss? Because that's what I do. Sometimes they deserve a fussing, okay? Now, Nell versus Tisha seems like it's going to be the whole theme of this season because Tisha refuses to acknowledge that Nell is right, that Tisha is avoiding and deflecting, and you know what I'm saying, and delusional in her tactics, and think we can't see it. Now, Nell has told us stuff in her life. We do know more about Nell and Chris's past than we know about Tisha and Marceau, but I'm gonna leave that be and whatnot, okay? Now, but how y'all doing today? Okay, let me say hello to y'all. I've got, okay? Hi to y'all. Okay, hello to my moderators, my members, and all that stuff. Okay, you all are appreciated and whatnot. Be welcome. But yeah, hello. It's some foolishness for real because I was like, Mel left the show, so no one should be bringing up anything that happened while Mel was still here. Y'all don't have anything going forward to discuss. It's like it's all old stuff. And I'm like, for what and for why? Okay, it just don't make any sense that we're having the same conversations because, in my opinion, the Scots are trying to avoid and deflect. And I'm like, girl, we don't care. Now, again, we will not be here long. I'm warning y'all now because I just feel like it wasn't much happening. So much so I barely did graphics. Because I was like, child, for what? So I made a little video so we can watch the people and whatnot. Now, in my opinion, do the show need to be canceled? Does the show need to be canceled? No. I know last season, because of all the stuff that happened, we all were like, oh, we ain't gonna watch no more. We're gonna black out. We're gonna not. The show was watchable, but you just have to be aware that you gonna get the same deflections from the skies, and it's gonna feel like Nell is nitpicking, but that's not really what happened. Destiny is still desperate for attention in screen time, and Kimmi around here just floundering, protecting Maurice, and I don't like it at all. Now we got a few new outfits, okay? The confessionals. And I said, well, that's kind of cute. So we see Tisha, her new outfit, Lance. I'm like, the kids really have a confessional. So Lance has a confessional look, and then we have Trisha was a new look as well. Tisha looked like the first lady of a Baptist church going to the first Sunday's dinner. It's real church lady. It's real first lady of a church. Okay, I don't like y'all. Y'all don't like me, but we all serve the Lord. Okay, and it's cute though. Now I wish she would have took the hair off her shoulder because all of the appliques and all of the extra from her neck. Move the hair back. Okay, move it back. A simple white dress. I don't think she need the bright white eyeshadow, but again, it's because of the dress. Whatever. Okay, then Lance. You know, Lance, who is Nell and Chris's son, him and his locks. Child, he didn't push him to the back, got a little suit on. Is that y'all think that's Chris' suit? Y'all think Chris gave him a suit and it don't fit? Because the suit don't fit him right. And I mean that respectfully. The suit seemed a little big, the tie, like it's I don't know. I'm like, somebody, when you sit down, have someone fix your outfit, okay? Move the vest over a little bit, okay? Fix the coat. Okay. Maybe he doesn't have time to get a tailored suit because he may not be a suit wearing individual, but Lance is around here not. So I guess now he's a regular cast member. Because once you get a confessional, you like shooting real scenes and whatnot, okay? But again, let's deflect away from the Scots. Let's add in Nell and them kids, okay? And then Trisha, it's a cute dress. Whoever does Trisha's hair and makeup either gets it right or gets it wrong. It's never an in-between. And I don't like her makeup here. I don't. I feel like it just looks, I don't know. I don't know. Like her lips look dry, and I want her lips to not look so dry. I can't stand the baby hair on the side or whatever. But I mean, I guess so. The dress is cute. I like her necklace. Okay. The hair, I wish it had a little bit more like curl to it. It don't have no curl to it. So that's what it is. And now we also had Destiny, who had a new outfit. Now, I don't know what convinced Destiny to wear this outfit. I said, girl, what are you doing? Okay. Destiny, I said, girl, is you would. I had posted on social media. I said, girl, is you a captain? Is she Captain Christian around here? It's a bejeweled onesie. It's a cross. So is she for Jesus? It's a jean gray red wig. And it's just too much all around. Okay, girl, I just feel, I just wonder. I was like, when you seen the outfit, did you then, you know what, this outfit needs red hair? Like she looked like a clown, and I mean that respectfully. And I even on IG, I use the song Captain Table Hole. Because she out here tapping for Jesus. She trying to save one soul at a time down by the park. And I said, also, the blessed oil got to be Hennessy or Patron or Douce, because this looks horrible. Like, there's nothing cute about it. I want to be saved. Girl, who you saving? Who you saving? The fact that it's a full neck brace onesie, okay, with crosses and gold stuff and black stuff. I don't know what made her think, yes, this is it. Okay, the wig looked cheap. I won't say look cheap. The wig looks too puffy, at the scalp. Okay. Maybe her braids is under the stick. I'm not sure. But I just feel like I don't know why she came and sat down and said, yeah, let me do a confessional in this outfit. I said, girl, for what? And for why? Who, what, when, where, how, and why? And I'm not trying to pick on her, but she make dumb decisions all the time, and it aggravates my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because why she always in a cat suit? I don't know if she want to be I'm not gonna do that. It's just ugly. I don't like it, and I wonder what made it. The earrings. It's just too much. It's too. And who put a cross in the middle? Is it a Jesus saving mission, or is you going to the club? Is you a bottle girl or usher? I'm not sure. And I was like, I said, she really. This, to me, this means either she has horrible taste, and that's what it is, or she has no idea how to dress, and she allowed someone to convince her this was gonna kill it. Girl, you sit down, it's gonna kill a girl. They're gonna love this. They're gonna love it. No, honey, you're a captain, savior, Jesus, none. I was so, because I watched the episode at like maybe 1 o'clock last night in the morning, and I said, what the fuck is she wearing? What was the thing? How she get in it? It's zip up the back. Look, the only times this is I am a singer, I am a Madonna background dancer, and we're doing like a version or like a prayer. Okay. Life is a mystery. It was I don't know. I hear you call my name. I don't know. Just like a prayer. Girl, what are you doing? Anyway, I was so aggravated at this outfit. I was like, what, girl, what are you doing? This would only look cute on a stage dancing around as a background dancer. Okay? This is not a sit down in a confessional outfit. The outfit ain't, the hair ain't either. And because the outfit is so busy and messy, the hair should have never been red and long. I said, what is, girl, what is this? Who convinced you? And then around the edge of her hair, you can see like blackness or whatever. Girl, you can't. Pick a lane, Destiny. Pick a lane. Okay, you either save them folk for Jesus or you going to the club. It can't be both. Anyway, that was. I do not dislike her, but I feel like, again, she makes decisions that make me question her sanity. It do. If just at least if you take the cross off the chest, okay? Because who said yes? I want a cross right here because I'm for Jesus. You can't do that in a skin tight onesie that's zipped up the back with a Jezebel wig. Anyway, The first piece of the episode, we had Nell talking to her son Lance. Okay, hey Lance. Lance is a handsome individual, but Lance fully feel like a immature fuckboy. Because how you got 3 kids and you struggling as if you are a first time father, and it's weird to me he depends on his parents so much. Because if you are struggling with the 2 kids, why have a third? I was look. Condoms are cheaper than abortions and babies. Okay. So when anybody has more than one child and they feel like they're already overwhelmed, I never understand how more babies come from the vagina or the penis. Okay. So Nell went back Lance's house to check on him. Child, when Nell pulled up and was walking up the grass, I said, "You ain't got no walkway? What is going on?" But she came over with this little charcuterie board, some fruits, and some wine because she know her son ain't got no groceries. Okay, most single men who don't know how to shop for themselves don't have fruits, vegetables, charcuterie, the good wine on chill. Okay, then some, not all, but there's some. Okay, so I'm gonna check on my son because he got 3 kids now. Okay, he's a single father. Now, I don't understand why no one has said, where is the mama? Not that we should always expect the mom to be present, but we do wonder where the mama at. Okay, did she get a baby to Chris? Say, like, here you go. Like, is she child? Is she overseas somewhere? Is she a soldier in the army? Did she die? Is she in the mental, like, where is the mama? Because it was just weird how no one addressed where the mama was, but kept implying that Chris is a full-time father with no help. And so I'm like, when they showed the baby bottles, the play, the pack and play on the floor, I'm like, so we not gonna say what a mama at? Because the mama had to birth the baby. Okay, the baby ain't get here by itself. And Lance, because we got again 2 older kids on the last baby. I said the last baby, you know what I'm saying? She live with me now. Okay, I'm the daddy, she the baby. It's me and her by ourselves. And at first, because when they said when the baby was first born, Chris was living with, Lance was living with Chris and Nell because new baby. Oops, what happened? We all shocked. And again, it's a Nell, we need you to be more transparent. Now, it's not Nell's business, it's Lance's business. But why ain't Lance said where the baby came from? Okay, y'all was in LA for the reunion, had to rush back because the girl was having a baby, and then the baby's born, and then you and your baby move into your mom and daddy house. So what happened? We said for the first couple months he stayed with the mom and daddy. Okay, he then moved back to his house and whatnot. I'm getting used to being a daddy by myself. It's been tough on me. Okay, I got to get up at night if she's sick, if she's hungry, if we got a doctor. It's all on me. I own my own company because he owns a construction company, and I got to get up for work or whatever. Welcome to parenthood. He was complaining, not complaining. He was just expressing he's a hands-on working by himself daddy, how a lot of women are every day. Okay, he says mentally, emotionally, and physically draining. Okay, but he said I'm a parent, so I know that's my job. So at least he's not complaining like I don't want to do it. He just said like it's just what it is. Now then say, well, you know what, son? How about I come and I get the baby like 2 days a week. I'll come get it. She'll come with me. Okay. And then you have 2 days by yourself. Now, I said, now what now? Did you ask Chris about this? Because look, when DJ was born, my nephew, we were at my sister's house. We was me, my parents, DJ's father at that point in time who was alive back then. So she had consistent help, child forever. But that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Nell wanting to help Lance, it feel like Nell just wants to feel needed. Like, does Nell want a new baby? I don't know. And I also feel like, why hasn't Lance, like, why don't Lance have, like, where's the mama? I'm just really wondering what I'm at. Okay? Because something sounds weird. I'm not sure. But again, Lance and mama, that would be helpful. You know, that would be great for me. Okay, but I also don't think it'd be good for my daughter. He said, because the daughter is so used to him, so used to their house, has a routine. He doesn't want the daughter to feel like to be out of her element. Because if she goes from my house to your house, like it's a back and forth and whatnot. And so it's weird. So I would not want you to come get her for 2 days or whatever, because I don't want to upset her routine. Now then, so okay, cool. Well, I can just come stay at the house with you for 2, maybe 3. I said, now what about Chris? Not that Nell need permission from Chris to do it, but I do feel like as a husband and wife, you should talk to your husband before telling your son, I'm gonna come stay at your house for a couple days. And until when? Until where? Okay. So Lance said, well, your mama, that'll be her with ask daddy. I don't know. That's a big decision. You know what I'm saying? So ask father. I'm a grown ass woman. I don't need no permission from no damn body. Okay, we've been married for 30 years. And if I can't leave for 2 or 3 days, like we have bigger issues. We've overcome stuff and whatnot, but I think it's not a big issue. It is not that I think Chris would have an issue with her going to help, but for how long? What's the time frame? Is it every week? For forever? Like if you say, hey, this 1 week, I'm going to go and help Lance this 1 week. Okay? I'm going to go for 2 days. Whatever. So it's fine by me. But will that fix stuff? If Lance needs a babysitter, Lance maybe needs a live-in nanny, but it can't be your mama because your mama has her own life. I feel like when you want your child to have a routine, you should not have people coming over here and there because that's not a routine. That's a here and your thing. If you need to help, and they'll own the damn daycare, hire somebody if you need that much help. But lo and behold, where is the mama? Where is the mama's family? Okay, because I don't think, because I wonder if it's this. Does Chris had a baby maybe once a week? And the mom, I don't know. It's so much that they did not explain about Lance's new situation. Okay, but I'm just like, where the fuck is I don't know. But again, they're gonna figure that part out. So Nell then brings up how Desi called her and complains that Nell did not tell her about the baby in a way. And Nell's like, I feel like I didn't know her shit. Like I don't think it was my place to tell her what you had going on. So I don't know. She also brings up how Desi had been 13 with my godson. So I didn't think y'all were together like that. Now to go from Chris and Desi was messing around. Then it was just out the blue baby. Now Chris said, I mean Lance. I keep calling him Chris, and I mean Lance. You know what I'm saying? Chris is daddy, and the other thing, Chris. I mean, when I say Chris, I mean Lance. But Lance went from mess around with Destiny. Then this new baby is out the blue around here. He's been at home as a single father with his new baby. It's a whole new thing or whatever that he ain't did before. And Destiny feel like she's owed a conversation, an explanation. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. But I don't feel it was up to Nell to tell her nothing because that's her son. So I don't think parents should get that involved in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At all. I think Lance should have been the one to tell her anything if there was something to tell. Just on me, okay? Lance, like, I don't think I owe her an explanation. I think I owe her a conversation. He said, but she made it clear we were just like casually messing around. It was nothing serious. It was casual, and Destiny made that clear. So we found each other attractive. I liked her. She liked me. We went on a couple dates. Okay, it was casual dating. To me, was y'all fucking? Was there any vagina penis connection? Because if your penis was ever intertwining with her vagina, even on a casual level, once you knew a baby was on the way, you did owe her a conversation. That part I agree with. Now, if they had not had any vagina penis connection, I don't think he owed her nothing. Because if we're not in a sexual situation, if we're not boyfriend, girlfriend, if we're casually hanging out, mm, mm, it's iffy. It's iffy. I think you owe people who will be in your life conversations. I think you owe people who you have a relationship with an explanation. I think if you was sending her dick pics and she sent you stuff as well, yes, there should have been some kind of conversation. But they also made it feel like Chris, Lance, and them did not know about the pregnancy. It feel like Chris was messing with some girl, okay, doing it without no condoms or whatever. And maybe the girl did not tell him she was pregnant until the last minute. And then if I find out one day I got a 9-month pregnant fuck buddy, my first notion may not be to have a talk with somebody I was messing around with, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. So I'm like, again, hopefully we get into that, but we shall see. But it don't feel like they had a whole relationship. It doesn't feel like they were a couple. It feel like they was casually canoodling, and he was fucking somebody else because he wasn't really with Destiny. And it feel like he did not know she was pregnant the whole time because Nell said all of their lives was like, what? Baby, what? What? So it felt like no one knew about it. Okay. But yeah, I'm like, if at any time him and Destiny were having any kind of sexual relationship, and he knew a baby was on the way, yes, he owed her a conversation. But that ain't what it was, and child, get out my face, okay? Now, but I like Nell. I like the fact that we're getting at least a real story element from Nell, Chris, and Lance. Because a baby is the whole thing. Okay, a whole thing. Let me read some comments. Let's see. He probably didn't have to do much work with his first two kids, and I don't know how old the two older kids are. Because you have, let's say, he has a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. You know what I'm saying? What he did then may not be what he's doing now if he's not a full-time daddy of a newborn baby. Karla King will probably ask a billion. If he don't, I'm gonna punch him in the throat. Nell does have a daycare, but I don't know if that would kind of equal a nanny because the baby, may not be. Oh, because I don't think newborns really go to daycare. Not sure. Nell volunteered to do stuff in the realm of playing with Chris. He could be like, nah, you're tripping. A lot. Let's see, if someone tells me it's casual, I'm just going to assume they're talking and to be making people know. Yeah, because we talking. I sleep with you, you sleep with me, we make sleep with other people as well. I don't know. But somebody was using protection because the baby popped out. But yeah, and Destiny be lying. She has a record, a history of making it seem like she has these full-on relationships, and that's not what it is. Like she did that with Moses, and to me, is she doing that now with Lance? I don't know. To me, that's these in. They were fake doing it. Mine's so small. To me, I can't stop on my screen. To me, on Destiny's end, they were fake dating so she could have a certain. I said that before too. That they wanted to mess around a little bit because she had. I do think they like each other, but I don't think it was real. For Lance, I think he was initially open to getting to know her, and then for back once he saw she wasn't serious. Mm. He was a teenage dad. She's a teenager. Oh, he is a child. Kids 13 years ago compared to now, it's completely different. But to me, I want to see this story, unfold. This is some real shit. Now, next up, we see Tisha, Kimmi, and Destiny. Okay, now they meet up. Now, first of all, I said, is y'all going to the same event? I have a pet peeve of when people wear jackets over their shoulder and they don't put it on. You either cold or you're not cold. Okay? There's no reason to have a blue jean jacket around you like that. Teacher, they got their blue jean jacket off. Go sit down. And then Daphne, like she going on a date. And Kimmi is like a drug dealer girlfriend. So I said, what is y'all wearing? Y'all out here fake shopping in the store. Did anyone buy anything? No? Okay. But again, to me, they want to be, we're friends, we're great. Because Kimmi brought up how old we were. We've had issues in the past, but we've overcame those issues and now we're friends. I don't believe it. You wanna know why? The reason I don't believe they're friends in life, there's like nothing of them hanging out outside the show. I don't mean they have to hang out all the time, but the fact that we only see them like around each other for group events, the cast events, like where is a picture of them hanging out on a regular Tuesday for brunch? Okay, y'all are show friends. Okay, the girlfriend, the girl on a date, and then somebody with a jacket over their shoulder that's not needed. At a store where no one gonna buy nothing. Anyway, but again, the reason I said Kimmi is, I said, Kimmi, why are you wearing child? Kimmi got them glasses on, and I'm like, girl, that gives me Detroit, born and raised. I am a drug dealer girlfriend. Okay, drug dealer girlfriend. Anyway, they're like, Destiny, girl, where you been? Because we have not seen her much at all. This is episode 5. She's maybe been on 2 episodes and whatnot. She been gone because she didn't go to Kimmi's little meetup or whatever. And so, girl, where you been, Destiny? We miss you. Where you been, girl? I was on TikTok live, girl, selling products. I was so busy live. The reason I feel like Destiny be making up shit because I know she has that Madani line, but she don't do nothing with it. She don't. And you can't tell, but again, I know folk be on TikTok selling their products. We know that Stormy does it, we know that Mel does it, and a lot of other, he would do it too. But I feel like Destiny be making up shit when she not doing nothing. You want us to believe that instead of being paid to be working on a TV show, you went somewhere for a TikTok live selling what? That candle? I feel like selling one candle. Look, girl, why don't you have a plethora of candles? Why is it only one candle? She has one candle and one body mist air freshener spray that she has. I just don't feel like that is TikTok selling worthy. Why would you not have 8 different candles? Okay, why would you not have 6 different body mist, air freshener, couch freshener spray to use? I just don't feel like the effort that she puts in her products makes sense when she tried to tell us I was busy selling. Girl, no one is buying that candle. Okay, no one buying that one damn. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. Okay, but she said it worked. She sold a whole bunch of shit. I have never seen anybody post a Madani thing. I've never seen Debbie post like sales or orders or reviews of stuff. Like, I just feel like she does not do enough with her brand. But she wants us to feel like when she's out on camera, she's brand. Girl, you not at all. Okay, even on her social media, she don't be posting much. So I just think it's a lie. And I don't like liars. Anyway, Kimmi brings up how we can hang out more. You know, we want to get to bond more with us and also with Trisha and Nell, which made Daphne say, "Girl, I know them already." Girl, no, you don't. You don't. Nell was Martell and Mel's friend. Trisha was Stormy's friend. So they don't really know each other. And to me, I don't feel like Kimmi and Tisha really know Destiny. I think they know each other. They're show friends. Yeah, they're co-workers. They're very much so co-workers. Yeah, Kimmi looked like a Detroit girl. And she ain't from here. I know Maurice is from Pontiac, but girl, I said, why she a girlfriend? But again, it's like we want to get acquainted or whatever. Because at the last dinner, Nell brought up the whole podcast thing that Martell did, and Tisha did not want to discuss it. Now, the issue I have with Tisha and Kimmi, and the issue I have with Nell being correct and saying that they're not transparent with stuff, is the fact that when a whole situation happened on social media from all of the cast, from what Tisha said on Carlos' podcast, from what Martell said on that YouTube thing, from Tisha and Marceau going on their IGs and saying shit, they all publicly address stuff. And now they want to come on the show. And Tisha does not want to address all the stuff they put out in the atmosphere. When over the years, that ain't how any of these shows work. If you address your castmates on social media and it becomes a buzz, that is usually discussed on the show. You can't do interviews and call your cast member gay. You can't do interviews and say your cast member, you know what I'm saying, was cheating or whatever, and not want to address it on the show. So if Tisha and Marceau did not want to address what Martell said, they should have never said nothing. If Tisha and Marceau and Kimmi and Maurice did not want to reply to Martell's accusations, none of them should have ever said nothing. If they wanted to leave it as what happened last season at the fight at the fake ass field day that they had, and Martell accused Tisha of banging a friend of theirs or whatever, Tisha should have not addressed it on Carlos' podcast. You can't address stuff publicly, but then not want to discuss it on the show. That's stupid. That is not being transparent. You're picking and choosing. And that's never been how the show has went. So it's weird, and Tisha, like, I feel like now, said that we're not transparent, but she won't talk about her and Chris. She do. Nell has herself on here, her husband, and their son, and now a whole new baby. So Nell and them are discussing shit. But you and Kimmi and Maurice and Marceau have not directly talked about what we all saw happen on social media. You were on the producer's podcast of the show. You think that can't be discussed on the show? And no one expects her to come on here and say, Marceau is a cheater. Okay, I am so sad. That ain't what it is. But however, you need to discuss what you said about Martell and what he said about your husband, even if it is defending your husband. But you can just not say nothing. You also, because when she said what Tisha told us, you know what I'm saying, to watch her social media. I'm not doing that, bitch. I'm not going to your social media to find what you said 6 months ago. No, we're asking you today, How did that make you feel? If it made you feel pissed off at Martell, fine. If it made you question Marceau one good ass time, fine. But you can't make it seem as if it never happened. And to me, I feel like Tisha is the main one trying to not have these conversations because she's the only one who won't bring it up. Kimmi brought it up, and so did Destiny. So I think production is forcing everyone else to bring it up because they're like, we can't ignore it. So I think they're making everyone bring it up, and Tisha and Marceau are refusing to play ball. So she walks away or whatever. I don't like it because, in truth be told, if they would just address it head on, we can move on. But you keep ignoring it, what makes it makes it a bigger elephant in the room, you know. And teaching them said, I feel like, Chris was out here singing, our husbands had girls sign NDAs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she be throwing rocks and having hands, and their house is easily breakable. Okay, well what's going on with Chris and Nell? Tell us, what have you heard? Because the moment you speak on their marriage, they will speak on yours. And now she wants to say, I just think that all marriages and kids should be off limits. Your mama didn't feel that way. You, your mama, your husband did not feel that way back when y'all was going at Mel and Martell. So now that your marriage is being discussed, now you think marriages on love and marriage should be off limits for what? I think change behavior, you know what I'm saying, should be happening and blah, 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 blah. So Kimmi then brings up how, no one should have to, tell someone what not to bring up. People should just know as adults what not to discuss. I don't feel that way. I feel like the only thing that should be off limits is kids. Period. I think if you children, not adults. If your kids are 18 or 17 or younger, no one should bring up any kid shit. Okay, well, except Martell said a cheating baby. That's different. If you cheat on your wife and have a baby, that's open for discussion. Okay, but I don't feel like, oh, well, let's not discuss the marriage. We have to because it's part of the show. So I don't know what Kimmi and Tisha think they're doing, trying to say, well, let's not. No, that's not being transparent. Kimmi trying to say, well, they should know what not to bring up, unless it's about your child. What could it be? What could it be? Because back when Monster was still a child, Kimmi, weren't you beefing with his mama? So I feel like it's the bullshit. Tisha, didn't you bring Kyla, who was Maurice's ex-wife, on the show to diss Kimmi? I think some folk don't remember season 1. I really feel like we need to go back and watch season 1 to recall all the hypocritical bullshit. They're now saying, oh, we shouldn't do this. But y'all did it. You did it. Tisha was on the show with when Maurice, Kyla, and Kimmi was at odds. Tisha did a whole scene with Kyla going at Kimmi. Kimmi was fussing with Maurice's baby mama, who was Martha's mama, on the show. Don't you think fussing with your stepson mama will affect the son? So why do any of that? So yeah, you can't pick and choose when you want to follow your own rules or when not. And again, with Mel and Martell, they 100% went at them folks' marriages, the cheatation, and all the bullshit that happened after, before, and during. So now that your husbands, now that Mel is out the picture, now that Martell is still child messy as fuck, now y'all want rules on what should not happen, what should not be discussed, and what y'all shouldn't do. Fuck that. Okay. So they're discussing about, some things be off limits, which makes Becky bring up. And I talk to Martell, and then we see Tisha walks away. I'm like, where you going? You not buying no clothes? Why walk away? For what? So if you're gonna be on the show and you're not gonna want to discuss just what's going on, that don't make no sense to me. You can't avoid the Martell debacle forever. You can't avoid the fact that that you said some shit and that he said some shit. Like, trying to not, give it any light is making it seem more true. Because if I know my husband is innocent and he did shit, let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to try to deflect away from that conversation. I'm not going to try to avoid. I want to meet it head on. Period. So I'm like, girl, is she gonna keep walking away? Probably so. So Kimmy brings up, well, if Tisha doesn't want to be around Martell, she does not want anyone to film with him or whatever. Like, how would you handle that? Because that's your friend. Because Destiny is Team Martell. Always have been, always will be. And she's like, well, you know what? If I wouldn't know y'all if it wasn't for Martell. And I can't ignore the fact that, like, I've known him for so long, like, he's my friend and whatnot, I'm saying, but I try to not pick sides. And you lying, you do pick sides. She may fully listen to Martell, but she's absolutely picked a side. And she don't really call Martell's bullshit out. She participates in it because she also needs screen time. So of course you're gonna listen to him complain about this and that because she needs screen time. So I'm like, I would not trust Destiny because look what she did to Mel. You can't tell me she was not telling Martell stuff about Mel and what was going on. I don't believe it at all. Okay. But it's like, he told me about him and Coleslaw moving on. And when she mentioned Coleslaw's name, Tisha gave the most stank face. Because I'm like, I would not want to be hanging out with my friend, his mistress. I just couldn't. I was a wife. So I would not respect anybody who acted how Coleslaw acted. And so that's also one reason I feel like Coleslaw would never on the show. I don't see any of the women like interacting with her on a regular basis because of how, insanely her antics were against Mel, in my opinion. But child, it's bullshit. Okay. She then brings up how, she saw Lance. No, she said Martell brought up Lance as well. That she saw Lance out one time. Lance not want to look at her. He's not giving her any eye contact or whatever. And she feel like I've known him for years. I have known Lance for years. I just think you should say something. Have you really known him for years, or have you known Mel and Martell, who knew the Fletchers, who knew what that was their son? You know what I'm saying? So every time she said, I don't be believing it. I don't be believing it. I feel like she'll say, I've known. No. I don't believe the whole I've known him for years and he owed me. I don't believe it. I think she has known of him because she knew his parents. I know of people because I know other folk. I don't know you. I met you one time 15 years ago. I've seen you here and there, but I don't know you like that. Okay. So when she then brought up how, at one point Lance started acting weird. He started moving funny or whatever, and she now knows why. Well, I mean, it was a baby. Kimmy then asked a great point. Kimmy said, so were y'all still talking for real? Like, were y'all still like, saying, and whatnot? And then, because at the vow renewal, like, y'all did not seem as if y'all were dating at that point in time. And that's true. She makes it seem like Me and Lance was dating on an active level, and out the blue, he got a baby, and I knew nothing. And I don't think that was the case. I feel like everyone was like, is they like dating for real, for real? Is that what happened? And so when she said, girl, first of all, at the viral, because you brought up me, googly eyed that man. I'm like, yeah, bring up all this old shit. The whole googly eyed, look at some man at Daphne's event, and then Nell mentioned it, Kimmi mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? And they said, first of all, you was one who like admitted to like, look at that man, which made us feel like you wasn't not really with Lance. Because if you are dating somebody, if you're in a relationship, why are you like flirting or looking at somebody else? So the fact that she keeps making clear, I am single then, I was single then, I'm single now, I can do what I want to do, means y'all wasn't really no couple. It wasn't that. It really wasn't that. So you can't have it both ways. You can't make it clear that, okay, I'm single, I can mingle, I can date or whatever, and he shouldn't care because we're not a couple. But you want him to give you the respect that a girlfriend would get if a baby was on okay. And I just don't care that much. They get on my nerves. We had a quick scene with Nell and Trisha, who met up to chit chat or whatever. Mainly because, at Trisha's birthday party, that's where Tisha and Nell got into it. And, drunk Tisha is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Nell, like, Tisha was drunk on some bullshit. I did not like her getting my husband's face. I did not like the comments that she was making or whatever. And, she gets that liquid courage in her system, and bullshit happened. She's been doing this since I've known her. Now we've seen like the sad fact of like Tisha saying, "Oh, well, Nell is like real feisty." Well, so is Tisha. I think the issue Tisha has with Nell is nosy. Nell can be messy. However, she don't back down from the confrontation. I think Tisha's used to people. I won't even say backing down. I think she's not used to anyone not being afraid to cuss her ass out. I think back in the day, like Mel would not engage as much. All right, go ahead, bye. I'm saying Nell gonna say, well, no, let's do it out. I'm saying I think Tisha don't like she get the same feisty energy that she gives out, but Nell will turn it up a notch or two. And I do think Tisha and Nell have been like bumping heads since the beginning, but because they both have the same feistiness to them, Nell just will address the shit and call the spade a spade and like, yeah, I said it, yeah, I did it. Okay, what about you? And I think Tisha don't like that, and she can't control Nell. Nell not gonna back down. Nell not gonna avoid the confrontation. Nell gonna sit there and handle it. And if she does that, Tisha then has to also handle it herself. I think Tisha is used to crawling back to Marceau, crawling back to her mama, or being able to play the victim to a confrontation. And Nell kind of won't allow that to happen. Nell gonna say, well, no, what happened? What did you do? How that happened? And Nell won't let shit go. How Mel used to let shit go, even how Kimmi will let shit go. And Nell was just the ultimate confrontation person. But I do agree with Nell when she said, I don't like how she was in my husband's face. I agree. I think the way Tisha was in Chris' face, finger pointing, voice raised, you shouldn't do that. And she would not want someone doing that to Marceau, or if she did, let someone do it to Marceau, that's on her. But I think Nell ain't like that with Chris, and with Trisha, like, girl, I just think, I think y'all can fix it, okay? Because Tisha ain't that way with me, I'm saying, but I do think she's that way with you or whatever. And when she said, well, if she popped in Ken face with you like that, well, no, right? So you can't try to tell me I'm kind of overreacting only because she hasn't done that to you. But if she did it to you, it will be a different story. So I just look, y'all can get good, okay? Just talk it out or whatever, have a one-on-one. Because she did say, I think she gets that way with you because it's a group setting. If y'all have a one-on-one, maybe it won't go so left because she's only like that in group. No, when she's drunk, that's how she is. It's weird to me. Kimmi and Jaylen. Kimmi was at the office, okay, and he stopped by her son. Now, first of all, we seen Kimmi on the phone with Destiny. Hold on. Stormy called Marcel a bitch in her face, in her wife, in his wife's face, and I agree. Tisha used to not having to fuss and fight with anybody. And once she addressed Stormy for calling him a bitch, it still was behind Marceau kind of protecting her. She never had to fully defend shit to where she's won the argument or she's won the dispute. You know, or she's won whatever that she's trying to confront. Shit happens in real time, and then she looked dumb and she tries to fix it later. So I agree. But with Kimmi and Jaylen, now we first seen Kimmi on the phone with Destiny when Jaylen walked in. And when Destiny said, girl, I need that office space. Yeah, I need you to help because I need an office still. She said, bitch, bye. Okay, you knew for a long time that you were supposed to get that space and you drug your feet and not until I put someone else in it that you want. She was like, no. Which to me means Destiny's full of shit. That means Destiny know they filming. Let me say something that'll sound good. Why you need an office space? For what? An office for what? So I love the fact that Kimmi's like, girl, bye. You don't want to fucking, you don't need no office space. You were supposed to get it and you kept bullshitting. So don't bring it up now as if you really want, no. Fake news, no. Which to me is another proof that Destiny do shit for the cameras. She do want to say things to make it seem as if she's, about that life. Girl, the fuck bye. You ain't fooling nobody. Jaylen, I'm wondering, did Kimmi and Maurice do a scheme, okay, to bring us the bullshit? Because we've never gotten this much Jaylen, ever. And now he's like in every, anyway. So he come by his mama thing and say, hey, mama, so I got a lucrative job offer from a job here in Huntsville. And I remember the last time we seen him, he told Marcel and Maurice he got a job offer in, was it Oklahoma? And it was like the field he wanted to be in. He wanted to spread his wings and fly. He wanted a whole new beginning. He wanted to be out of his mom's shadow. He's always, I want a new, fresh, whatever. So he told us that last episode was either whatever episode 2 ago. Colorado. Okay, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And today he gonna say, yeah, I got a job here in Huntsville. It's lucrative, whatever. I had, there's more money, okay. And they said they saw my stuff, they saw my experience at Black, and because of that, So you want me to believe that before you was forced to move to Oklahoma, to Colorado, a job just so happened to see your resume and say, oh, you did what at Black? You know what? We want to hire him. Is it a scheme that Todd, Maurice, and Kimmi set up to bring us the bullshit? Okay? Because now he said, I'm going to stay here. The job is in logistics or whatever. And I was like, so was there ever a job out of state? Because you told us before you were moving at the end of the month. And now you're staying? Okay. If you say so. Look, I'm not against, Jaylen is an adult. He's in his mid or late 20s at this point in time. So I'm okay because again, yeah, show Jaylen, show Lance, because that's real life. They have real life adult kids. So it was weird to not see them. I do think the younger kids, they keep the young kids off But I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I know, right? So Jaylen has now told us I'm staying here. Okay. I got a good job here now because of Black. To me, mentioning Black makes us okay, let's pop up Black. What job? What is happening? What's the name of it? What you gonna be doing? And they just so happen to have contacted you before you left Colorado. Okay. So Kimmi man said, you know, would you stay here? Okay, maybe we could still do the whole family business thing, okay? But maybe like me and you could work together. Maybe Maurice and Mom could work together. So that way, you know, it's not all four of us, and you may feel better with it being me and you. Kimmi, does she sell houses? Because why we ain't see her show no houses? If you are in girl, if you are in real estate, I fully feel like you need to show your business on here. If I'm gonna meet with my son, I'm going to be he gonna meet me at a house I'm selling, and I'm gonna be talking to a client, and he gonna. I'm just saying, you need to use this show to promote what you do. In my opinion, the fact that we've never seen Kimmi in any real estate mode, I'm like, so what do you do? Anyway, the other man brings up how, you know, the conversation between Marceau, me and Maurice happened. And he said, I still feel like Maurice kind of like didn't fully get it. You know, at this point, we've had a talk between Kimmi and Jaylen. We've seen Jaylen talk to Maurice. We've seen Jaylen talk to Marceau. We've seen all of the adults talk as well. And the fact that Jaylen's like, I still feel like Maurice doesn't get the issue. I still feel like he was deflecting the whole time. And this is after Maurice told him, you know, I love you. You know, I loved you or whatever. He still feel like Maurice is just not even taking on what I said, how I felt. He deflecting away from the point. And Kimmi, who to me is defending Maurice. Okay. Thumbnail. Told y'all. Okay. Kimmi making excuses for Maurice. She's fully making excuses for Maurice. Even all these years later, because now your son is still telling you, after you talk to your husband, after I talk to your husband, after his brother talk to your husband, he still is on bullshit. Okay? And Kimmi responds to me, you know, that's how he is. You know, it's a hard time accepting his part in things or whatever, but maybe there was some kind of payoff in his approach. I was like, the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean it wasn't? It wasn't, because your son still feels slighted. So his approach did not pay off. Technically, Jaylen is okay despite Maurice's treatment of him. And when he said, you know, Maurice wasn't a father to me, it felt like he was mentoring me. He then said, but maybe because I have no idea what fatherhood is. Because again, I don't know what went on with Kimmi and Jaylen daddy before. I don't really know any of that or whatever. But him saying, I don't know what fatherhood is. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. But I felt like he was a mentor to me. And to me, someone being a mentor, trying to help you is, you know, is different than a father or parent. Being a loving provider, a loving figure in your life. You're like, maybe I don't know, you know, what father, I don't know what it is. To me, what that means is his birth daddy and his damn stepdaddy. Neither of them taught him what it felt like to have a father in the life. And the reason he probably felt that more so from a father was because he probably got more affection from Marceau. And then he said Maurice was grooming me in a harsh way to be a man. And I guess it worked because I had to figure it out on my own. That was like big. If my son told me that about my husband, I would have to divorce my husband. Because I would be so depressed as a parent to feel like I brought someone in my child's life who made their upbringing harsh. They felt that it was a harsh way to be a man. And that's my fault. Because I brought this man to my child. And all of what he's saying is nothing, because there are strict parents. You know what I'm saying? We get that. However, I wonder how Monster felt Maurice was as a parent. Because if Maurice wasn't harsh to Monster, if he's only been harsh to Jaylen, that means he absolutely treated Jaylen worse than his own son. And Kimmi hearing him say, Maurice grew me in a harsh way. And it only worked because I had to figure it out on my own. And to me, your job as a parent is never for your child to have to figure it out on their own. It's like if you can give a kid a book and say, hey, this is the book on how to build a car. I'm not going to help you figure it out. And that's not how parenting should be. And I don't get how Kimmi is not more upset with her decision as a woman to bring Maurice and her son's life as a man. And he didn't really help Jaylen. Because he said, I had to figure it out on my own. My mentor, stepdaddy, would throw, rocks at me and say, pick a rock to have the hand with. But, and I like the way that Jaylen expresses himself. He's not, there's no confusion in what he's saying. Maurice was a mean, harsh stepdaddy who did not show love or affection to him. So I'm like, how the fuck did Kimmi fall in love? Because to me, part of something that makes you love a person is how they treat your child. So at what point did Kimmi ever think, well, damn, how does Jaylen feel about this? Like, how does Maurice make my son's life better? You fucking Maurice and having a younger man did not help your son. Period. And now we have to hope that once Jaylen gets married or whatever, he knows how to show love and affection. Because the men you had in life did not. And that's just weird. I think even, it's sad that Kimmi, that's how Maurice is. Again, she's still making excuses for him and not saying, son, I'm sorry that the man I picked to be my husband was not a better father to you. I wish I picked someone who not only wanted to make my life better, but wanted your life to be better too. I'm sorry that the harshness that he put you through, I didn't see it to stop it, to fix it. I'm sorry that I brought a man in your life who never was a father to you. He was a mentor. Because not all step parents want to replace their the birth parent. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're in addition to, but there should still be a love and affection feeling to where that other parent is additional. Because my mom and my dad when I was in first grade, and me and my brother are like a year apart. However, my brother whose mom is fully in his life still look at my mom as a bonus mom because we were a loving, conjoined family. Now, I don't look at his mom as like my mom because she wasn't like in my life and whatever. However, there was a respect for my brother's mom because I'm like, that's his mom. You know what I'm saying? But my mom loved my brother because he was in the household with us. You know what I'm saying? And my dad, you know what I'm saying? I never felt in it. Today is his birthday. Today's my dad's birthday. So happy birthday. Okay. But again, it's weird that they don't have that dynamic to where he felt any fatherly or even parental love from Maurice. That's so strange to me. And Kimmi, who gets pissed at other bullshit, but this don't get you pissed off. Yeah, even with the Deflections, you know, with Nail and Chris both came into their marriage with a child, you know, from a different relationship, and they then had, I think, either 2 kids together. But because Lance is not Chris's, you know, bio kid. However, he treats him as if you can't tell anyone that Lance ain't Chris's son at all. But you can fully tell that Jaylen ain't Maurice's kid. So just as much as we want Maurice to hold himself accountable, we should want Kimmi to do that too. Because this is what as Maurice failed Jaylen, so did Kimmi. Now, don't get me wrong, Kimmi raised him on her own for a while, and that's great. So I'm not knocking her as his parent before she got with Maurice. However, once she got with Maurice, it seems as if she was more focused on her and Maurice and not Maurice and her son. And most parents I know don't want no one in a life who will alter their child in any negative way. Okay, it does not mean that you allow your child to be the cider of things, but you do allow your kid to, you know, be accounted for and whatnot. So again, Kimmi's like, oh, you know, that's just how Maurice is. Oh, you know. So Kimmi, you know, make it seem like it's no big deal that Maurice was this harsh person to her son will never sit right with me. Because it's almost as if she still won't admit it either. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you know, that's how Maurice is. It's weird to me. It's very, very weird. It almost feels like could David have been better off without Maurice around? I don't know. But if I'm a parent and I found out that, you know, 10, 15 years after I married this man, that my child felt like no love or affection from him, and the man been around, he was 12. And to me, the years when Maurice was around, that from 12 to now, you want a man to come in and help the boy feel or grow into manhood. And that ain't happened. Anyway. So this is as much as we fought, Maurice need to fight Kimmi too. We then seen Chris and Lance have a little conversation. Okay, again, Lance is not his bio child, but you can't tell me they want in this suit because he's a real realtor that we've seen do realtor shit. Okay, Lance being around here in his outfit of his company. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the show. I'm gonna show y'all my job. I own a company. It's on my hat, on my shirt. Okay, I'm not gonna have y'all around here. Yeah, show the point of this show should be promote your business. Okay, promote. Yes, have your daddy come meet you at your company. Wear all logo stuff because if you wear it all. Okay, hat, shirt, all that shit. Anyway, so Chris is also checking on Land because again, new baby, new changes or whatever, and it is weird. So Land again, it's an adjustment. It's so different or whatever. Having the baby in the house, and Chris was like, it was a good adjustment for us as well. Chris also brings up that we hadn't had a baby in the house for 28 years. You know what I'm saying? We had not had any infant baby living in our house for 28 years, and out of the blue, one day, oh, it's a baby here. So it was a change for you and us too. Okay. He brings up, Mama said, Mama offered me to come live at my house 2 or 3 nights a week, you know what I'm saying, to help me because I've been tired. Chris said, I'm not cool with that. it's a no for me, dog, okay? I am not good with that because what husband wants their wife gone 3 days a week? And I agree. I think there has to be a conversation. How long do you plan to go around there? And wait, that a bad audio? Is the audio weird? I know you've had issues before. Child. Let me know if it was bad audio. I haven't heard anyone else mention it, so I just want to be sure. If I can't fix it, what it is? Why are you telling me? I know YouTube had the same issue like 2 weeks ago. I can't fix it. I didn't know. It's what child, but I understand what you're saying. Just wasn't going to say anything. Child, if it ain't broke, don't fix. Okay, cool. Yeah. YouTube sometimes have an issue that I can't fix it. But sorry, my bad. Okay. Anyway, we almost done anyway. But again, Chris is saying, hey, I don't want my wife being gone for 2 days a week. Because again, it's my wife. Okay. We help our kids we can. We have did overnight visits or whatever. We've done this, we've done that. Okay. But we have to want a more realistic adult way he wants to handle things. I think we want to help y'all, but we can't hinder y'all growth if we keep doing it all for you. You have to get used to being a parent. We helped you the first few months. Okay. If you're tired now, cool. Maybe 1 week she can come and stay there for 2 days. They'll discuss it as if, we're gonna be over there all the time. And I don't think that's logical. But again, that makes him dependent upon Nell, and it's weird because you the daddy, and eventually you have to get used to being the daddy. Again, get a sitter that comes, get a night nurse who comes, okay? And I like Chris saying, you need to hold yourself accountable for your life choices, meaning you have 3 kids now. This new baby was a surprise to all of us. You know what I'm saying? You have to hold yourself accountable for what you've done to get your life to this point. Miss Nell will complain, give them money, and then say, I don't want to help no more. But now you want to be a babysitter. I think Chris's notion is the baby was born, we helped for like 2 months. He was at our house. He had help for 2 months. We can't keep helping, or else he won't ever get used to being the stay-at-home daddy that he's supposed to. Not stay-at-home daddy, the single daddy he's supposed to be. Now, Chris also did not address, okay, Chris brought up how they had to set boundaries before the boundaries got crossed. They want the kids to not do this, not do that. They set these rules that don't get followed because they want to help, and then she's upset. So he said, we want to be able to help you, but also make you, let you be able to handle your own shit. We don't know. Neither Nell, Chris, or Lance have addressed where the mama is of the youngest baby. I don't know if she passed away, if she's in jail, if she's in a psych ward, or if she just said, hey, take the baby. No one has said it, but I feel like it's been known. They're insinuating that from the time the baby was born, Lance has been the primary parent to the baby and not the mom. I'm saying, well, no, they said he's never been a full-time, I'm the only one with the child. I think in the past he's been like, there are two parents. I'm help here, I'm help there. This it seemed like this is the first time he said do it all on his own, help mama, but they have not said where mama is at. Because I'm wondering, like, where the mama at? Where'd she go? Is she gone somewhere? And no, I'm like, and maybe the lady who, maybe the mama like doesn't want to be discussed on a show. That could be it. She could, I'm just making my eyes water. It could be the mom does not want to be mentioned on the show. It could be that, there is something else going on. I'm not sure why they haven't mentioned the mama. I would have been said, oh, well, the mama got arrested. And since my child mama got arrested, I'm a single father. But they ain't say that. But it almost feel like they're saying it without saying it. So I don't know if, they're putting out, context clues and we're just supposed to figure it out. So he used to be Weekend Dad. That's right. Because I'm on Lance's ID page and talk about allergies page. Let me share it. Share the screen on Lance's page. I gotta go find it real fast. I think these are his three. So I think this is the post that made the rounds. Oh, we got another baby. So this is from December of 2024, and I believe that's his daughter. That's his youngest, his daughter, his child, and the newest baby. So this again is from Christmas of 2024 and whatnot. So again, the daughter, she's was not a child. You know what I'm saying? You see, I think that's a son. Is little. He looked like about maybe 5 years old, and then a brand new baby, and then him. So I'm assuming there's nothing about So that's his daughter. So again, it's not the daughter is child. A teenager. Okay. And then child so fucking healthy. The baby name was Kalani Caree Fletcher. So the youngest baby was born in December. Okay. And you see him, that's that thick ass wood. So you know that's the Fetter's house. They got the thick ass wood in their house, the good old expensive wood and whatnot. So again, a whole new, brand new baby. But again, we ain't never seen the mention of the mama. Okay, you know these are Chris and Nell's kids and whatnot. Okay, again, a new baby. I'm looking for the mama. Okay, kids to see Nicole, Ezekiel, and Creed. Child, he was out here, child, posting the babies. Okay, but yeah, we don't know where the mama at. We don't know. No idea. But he's dead. So before that, I don't think he's ever even posted himself with, with a girl or whatever. So we have no idea what the mama is. But maybe the mama don't want to be. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, back here. We gotta find out who the mama is. I don't want to wait until the reunion to find out. Because I was like, I gotta. It's thick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Miss Go to what she wants. I agree. But again, we shall see. While they talking, because Chris is telling Lance, I know it's hard for you. It's been a hard transition. My allergies, my nose running, my eyes water is horrible. But Chris is like, I know it's been hard for you being a daddy this time, full time, going from maybe being a part time, 1 and 2 daddy to being a full time daddy. Maybe talk to somebody who can know what you're going through. Okay, how about this? How about you reach out to Martell? I said, Martell. Now, why would you want to do that? Anybody suggesting anybody talk to Martell is like, nigga, what? But Martell has, the different kids. He got 5 kids, 2 women or whatever. He had a juggle and whatnot. I was like, nigga, what? I guess. But again, the folk just want Martell. Because what else Martell gonna do? Okay. What else is he gonna do? And I feel like Martell can't discuss Mel. I almost feel like he gonna lie, because we do know that Mel and Martell have 1 week on, 1 week off. So 1 week Mel has kids, and that's what Martell does. So he does have that. I think with Cold Clark kid, it's the same thing. But I think he probably has more active. Okay. But again, our child, I guess we'll see what Martell gonna say about being a daddy, some kids and whatnot. But y'all take 30 good seconds, child, and like the video. Thank y'all for liking the video and subscribing as I asked y'all to. Okay, now we get into Tisha versus Mel. Mainly Mel confronting Tisha, saying, "Girl, cut the bullshit, leave me alone, bitch." I loved the interaction between Nell and Tisha, because Nell is not allowing Tisha to lie. Nell is not allowing Tisha to
use her as a storyline and not have that back and forth. Let's talk about it. And even though Nell can be messy, she can be. I like the fact that she is not afraid to have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I think in the past, we had Mel on the show. Mel sometimes would have girl bye. You know what I'm saying? I think with Tisha over the seasons, Tisha's been used to not having to hold herself accountable for shit she said and done or her husband said and done. And Nell ain't letting that shit ride now. To me, Nell is giving very much so main girl energy because she can hold her own. And to me, that's what makes a great main cast member. You need to be able to hold your own in any conversation. And even though Nell can get feisty, she gonna get feisty, but still say what she need to say. And she ain't gonna like, well, I'm leaving. No, I've been let talk. Okay. So, they want to meet up and discuss the, Tisha going up at 100, being in Chris' face and this and that. And she's like, I don't remember, getting in Chris' face. I don't remember being on 100 because you was drunk. To me, Tisha was on 100 even talking to Nell before they went over the men. And I feel like once she got over to the men, she just went up because Tisha ain't gonna go at Maurice. She can go at Martell because Mel ain't there, and Mel ain't gonna have it. I think Nell is like, ain't none of you hoes gonna fuss at my husband. You can fuss at me, but don't go at my husband. And I think any wife would do that. Because my thing was, don't go in my man's face. I gotta block you. He can't block you, but I can. So talk your shit from over there. So Tisha always saying, I don't remember being upset. I don't remember, you were drunk. You were intoxicated. Now she may not have been drunk, knocked down, drunk like a skunk. Hold on. I am not phone. However, she was absolutely. Hey, I'm on live. You call me?
I'm just calling to touch base. Go ahead. We're on our way home now. That's all.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
DJ went to college today, so they went to college. So she never remembers nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Nell not having that shit, okay? But I remember, all I remember is Marceau saying that the stuff about the NDA cleared up that Chris said, okay, but I didn't like what Chris said. It's the second time Chris says some shit or whatever. The first time when she said this the second time, Tisha would say stuff and not have anything to back up her statement because she's used to not having to back up her statement. So, because Chris said something before, what did he say? What was the first time? Well, when he said something about Marceau in Atlanta, okay, because Chris had to take a picture with Marceau to prove to you where he was, and I was like, do you not know it was on camera? So, like 2-3 seasons ago, when that picture of Marceau in a hotel, allegedly, when the alleged picture of Marceau's back in the hotel room came out, and Tisha went and pulled up on Marceau, had him come to the car, and questioned him about who were you in Atlanta with. And we see we see Marceau in the car. She's crying because she did not know what was going on. She was questioning Marceau. And Marceau was like, well, I was in Atlanta, with somebody. And at first he would not say, well, who? He eventually said, I was with Chris. When they asked Chris about it, Chris said, well, yeah, but I was with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Had to take a picture with Marceau to prove to Nell where he was. Even though Nell was in Atlanta, because Tisha wasn't there. Nell was there. Because Nell said, first of all, my husband was with your husband at a restaurant. He brought the food to me. I don't know where your husband went when he left, but my husband came home, came back to me with some food. So the fuck, right? Wanda brought up the picture about Marceau cheating, which made Tisha drive her ass to Black, call Marceau out the restaurant, and check him in the car. Well, not check him, but question him in the car while crying about it. Okay, so Nell like, no, you can't be upset with me or my husband. Your husband brought my husband up first. Your husband used my husband as his excuse. And my husband replied back to the allegation that he was accused by saying, no, I saw him at a restaurant, yes. We took a picture, yes. And I then left and went back to my wife. The story was that Pick was the alibi for Marceau. So Tisha even saying, well, my husband told me that your husband lied to you. And again, every time he's faced with a lie from Marceau, told to her from Marceau, and Marceau would mention one of the men, she can't be upset if the wife of said man, like, bitch, hold up. Yo dude used my husband as a scapegoat. Your mama took the picture to you and you went to your husband and questioned him. I'm like, So Tisha attempting to bring up something, and when they're like, nah, let's discuss it. Tisha couldn't hold her own. And now they're up there at odds. Okay? Fully at odds. And I'm like, please be at odds. Okay? Girl, the fuck bye. Okay? Your husband was talking about he was my husband. Okay? I was there. Okay? It was not the other way around. Okay? So again, Tisha brought up something that she then can't support. She then can't make it seem as if it's the right thing or actually happened. And they're trying to say, well, girl, first of all, you on bullshit. Okay, you're on complete bullshit. I loved it. I loved it. Because that made Tisha back. Like, don't yell at me. Why you raising your voice at me? Girl, I don't tell me what to do. And Nell was not loud. They weren't even arguing. Tisha could not help that Nell called out the bullshit. That Nell knew exactly what she was discussing, and she called it out bit by bit. Like, no, your husband brought my husband name up first on the show. Okay, it wasn't my husband, it was your husband, and she could not handle. Oh, Marceau's lie was getting called out because he told you, oh, well, Chris needed a picture with me for proof with Nell, and they're like, I was in Atlanta with my husband at the hotel waiting for him to come back with the food. He did come back with the food. Where did your husband go? The fuck you mean? And she could not handle the fact that your husband still lied to you. He told you that my husband needed proof for me, and that wasn't true. He needed proof for you. Okay? If you're not gonna be calm and not get loud, I'm not. Girl, we gotta talk. Fine. And Tisha getting up to leave because she could not handle the conversation. It's like, girl, the fuck bye. Why can't you have a conversation? And then gonna say, I come to this place, I have meetings here at this establishment where, paying for my daughter's school. Girl, so I'm pretty sure the parent your daughter's school has seen you up the fussing, cussing, and fighting on camera for years. That fucking piggly ass stop shop for some coffee ain't nothing. Girl, the fuck, I be here having a meeting. I'm not gonna argue because shut up, Tisha. Your husband and your mama fuss, argue, and fight all up and through the Huntsville streets. Okay, we've seen you drunk all up and through this show. So you want us to believe because you think now raised her was, oh, now you can't sit and talk because your daughter's friends, mamas could be around there one day getting coffee. Girl, shut up. She's childish. Tisha's childish. She is. She can't handle conversations. Period. Period. If you can't handle, one, don't bring up shit that ain't true. Two, you should not bring up shit Marceau told you because it could be a lie. And when someone said, well, that ain't what happened, actually, my husband was with me. I was there too. I was in Atlanta. You were in Atlanta. And trying to tell someone's wife who was in the same city with her husband what was happening, and your husband was not there with you, you wasn't there at all. Okay? Every time our soul go on some trip, you ain't there. And he has some elaborate conversation, explanation for you to believe. And you know, it may not even be Marceau cheating. Marceau don't like being around his wife. That could be it. It may not even be Marceau having a full-on affair with someone else. He just might not like being around his wife, so he's always gone. So Tisha wants to bring up shit and not want to fully address it. That's all. That's all. And that's fine. If y'all want to live separate lives and he need a break, look, I am a full-fledged believer in, you know, some folks you can't be around 24/7. You can't. And that's okay. But you can't make it seem as if we have this perfect marriage. We're together all the time, except when we're not. And then he's not doing anything against me. Okay. Okay. We know Chris cheated on that. We know they had a whole thing. So that ain't even tea. And all of it's because you refuse to acknowledge after you said Martell be sucking dick. He brought a woman who said she fucked not only your husband but your brother-in-law. Well, keep playing. Now, I know it's more to come this season and whatnot, and it's fine. But Tisha, you gotta stop running. Face whatever your husband did head on. Or defend your husband. If you can't defend him, don't bring him up. Okay? If you can't deflect correctly, don't bring him up. If discussing what Martell alleged with that lady on that YouTube video brings you too much, strife, leave the show. What you can't keep doing is running from the conversation. What you can't keep doing is trying to ignore talking about it. Because to try to ignore how it made you feel, it may be why your ass is going crazy. And look, if they try to bring Wanda in this, I can't wait to see Nell cuss Wanda ass out. Because Wanda and Miss Nell are at an age bracket to where they can go tit for tat. I think Mel consistently try to give Wanda some respect because she was the elder and whatnot. But I fully feel like if Wanda came trying to beef with Nell, I think Nell will cuss Wanda ass out. Tisha wants to have, man girl energy, but she don't know how to really be the main girl. And now it's like, I'll handle it. Let's do it. Let's do it, bitch. We in right now. So why? Because I said so. And Tisha's upset because she can't control the narrative, and no one is trying to. And and truth be told, on this current cast, like, we like Marceau. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't hate Marceau right now. We like Marceau. We like Chris. We can't say Maurice. We can't say Marcel either. But you know what I'm saying? And Ken is still dumb. But I feel like Marceau is a likable asshole who don't take shit serious. So right now he's a likable character this season. It don't mean that he ain't did what he did in the past and still in the past. But for right now, it's not as if we like, oh, we can't stand Marceau. That ain't what it is. So we'll see what happens next. But Scots have to know Nell not going to back down from nothing. And I think that's going to be why there's many blow-ups between Nell and Tisha, Nell and Kimmi. Because we know that thing coming with Kimmi say, I'll push you. We're going to do a motherfucking thing. Girl, I can't wait to see what happens with Nell and Kimmi. So we shall see. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed this review, okay, of the Love and Marriage Huntsville Streets. Y'all know to be sure to like the video and subscribe. Okay. Share the video as well. You can also follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, TikTok. Again, any sound issues, I had no idea. YouTube be glitching. I can't control it. Okay. I hope y'all heard me clearly and whatnot. I will have content up and up. Okay. So make sure to look out for premieres. I'll be live. Hopefully my work week next week is better because stuff is better at work. But I'll have stuff out here. Anyway, a good time to say about all. I love you all. Bye.